Hello, friends. Welcome to Akul Mac Live. And our year, the new financial year has already started, which is 2022. Lot of new aspirations are, people are having a lot of new aspirations and they want to achieve a lot of new things in 2022. Uh, Lots have changed also in past 2 3 years, and going forward, a lot of new skills will be required. So today I have a very important guest joining me from Calcutta. She is a very well known speaker and also a very well known India popular um, learning and development specialist who will actually guide us about the new skills required in 2022. So let's welcome Aditi Palit to our show.
Thank you, Chandrakant. Again, it's my pleasure to be on your show. It's always very interesting to share my views and have the fruitful interactions with you.
Welcome to the show, Aditi ji. And in fact, as in my introductory speech, I said that we need a lot of new skills to succeed in 2022. So, from your point of view, since you interact with so many leaders and also young people across India, what are the skills required in 2022 specifically to build your career?
As you said, I'm into L&D, and I've been in this field for almost 2 decades. The basic and the critical skills, I don't use soft skills anymore. They're proving to be more and more as critical skills. They are the same, you may use the same terms, but they're taking on a new dimension in this rapidly, booming, you can say, digital world. So for me, I believe the new joinees in any company, they have to sharpen up and upskill or reskill mainly on their interpersonal skills. Now, by that I mean the way they interacted with their colleagues and seniors at the physical workplace obviously won't work, isn't working, and won't work anymore. What is happening is we've seen that due to the different software and the platforms that are being used, we are having a different kind of communication. We're having different kind of interaction with the people involved, and herein comes a solid foundation. I'll give you an example, like for remote leaders and for hybrid, which again I'm saying is the future. It is communication. It is the way you handle your team during meetings. Are you only interested in passing the message about the work that is at hand? Or are you looking into them as a person who may have been affected by the virus, by any family member? Still, Omicron is on in our country. The fatality rate has increased, the number of cases decreasing, but we cannot, ignore it. So my take is, through a screen, it is very difficult to gauge the real emotions of an employee, a subordinate. So the communication again has to be based on empathy. And the way the leader has set up the platform, wherein even in his absence, his team members, despite being in any part of the country, is always interacting amongst each other. So this kind of communication may be through phone calls where there's no physical meeting. That lingua franca is different. As it is said, especially through emails, not much of the actual purpose, actual emotion can be, conveyed. So I believe the new joinees should be given a first-hand training on how to communicate on a digital platform.
Well, I think this is the problem for many today, not only in India but world over, where for past 2 years the digital skills have become the hard skill and no longer called the soft skill because they are the benchmark. You have to have digital skills in order to take it forward. So I think it's a big challenge for especially the batch which is coming out and trying to join the job in this year, especially in 2022, because earlier we used to have interns and their career used to start. And that is becoming a real problem because young children will cope up with this change because they're already online with their schools. The problem is with the batch of 2021 and 2022. What is your opinion on this issue and what is your advice to these people?
It works both ways. Yes, everyone should, the employer and the employee, they have to work hand in hand. The employer has to understand, as you said, that this batch maybe, as I keep on stressing, they are not from an engineering background, especially the software engineering background. So, they will not be aware of these platforms. Now, is it only the onus of the employers? No. The employees who are willing to join or are ready to join, I believe I give the advice to them because I do a lot of campus to corporate trainings that speak to your elders, your cousins, maybe a young uncle or aunt, your peer who has started a year ago, on what is desired, what kind of knowledge is required. Everything cannot be, taught. And the main thing is they have to, whether it's on an interview, onboarding, on a platform, digital platform, or a physical, interview process. Your extracurricular knowledge, that matters, that cracks the interview. So if you, Google is the best friend that we have these days. After gaining some knowledge, they can go to how does Zoom work? How does Google Meet work? Maybe someone, in the family using Microsoft. So that would be a very good impression. Now, the employers also must not take it that each and every, interviewee will know them. So again, the question of, handling empathetically. If they know very well, if they don't know, but are super in other areas, give them the chance, put them in the training, room where they will be taught this. We have fallen totally into the hands of digitalization, and that cannot be denied. So what best process that suits the company without going into too much of an expense, and the employee can benefit from the programs or do a bit of self-study. The multinationals have gone into something called self-paced learning. This is the reason all joinees will not be at the same, on the same par as far as these technical knowledge is concerned. So you take your time and you get acclimatized to the processes that are functioning in the particular company. I think that's a very good idea, this self-paced learning. So what the need of the hour is understanding and deep understanding between the hirer and the hired.
Well, Aditi ji, I have a question here. Since you raised the issue regarding the employment, uh, there has been a tremendous change in the way we actually work in last 2 years. In fact, a lot of people have willingly left their jobs, and I mean, almost like 40 to 50% people don't want to work full time. They may want to work for a couple of hours, and they want to do multiple things, and that is another change which is happening in the society, where people don't want to work full time, and because of that, the industry which is now emerging is truly industry 4.0, which is running on the internet, and people can do multiple things. People will basically create data. So people are now becoming data creator rather than, you know, working for an organization, and organization is becoming uh, today more like a project management company rather than a production house. So a lot of these changes are happening. So from your point of view, I think a lot of gurus, including yourself, have predicted that these changes are inevitable. From your point of view, how you intend to help the people, whether they are the organizations, or whether they are aspiring employees, or aspiring, I would say, contract employees.
This is a wonderful question, very pertinent question. Now, my take is the companies have their own policies. They've come during these 2 years of the pandemic. They've gone and researched a lot, tried out various processes where they found remote work was, working for them. Now, in this year, some are going for hybrid. So now coming to giving employment, you have to check. And since I'm also a career coach, I'm talking to both sides. What is the actual inclination of the person who's, the future employee? Both the organization, the management, and the person who's willing to join, they have to think. I am not someone at the moment who would like to work the old way, and I would rather do, as you said, data creation, and I would like to be a vendor, or one, I will look after one vertical in the organization. I'm not going to just carry out any project. If I'm given that kind of liberty, I will do for them for some time, and then a lot of people are going into writing books because their ideas are maybe not being valued in the organizations. They have come up and come out, and they're writing about their new ideas, which would work very well in the new situation. It's very good. Everyone should work according to his or her inclination, desire, dream. What is the goal? Now, one point which I tell my trainees is, you have to be honest. I'm going in for a full-time work from home, but I'm working for another company. Or during that time, I'm working for myself. As I told you, this has come up in the papers that from the filing of the PF, some companies have found out that their employees are doing that. That is, as I was going to talk the next on work ethics, which has become very critical, because away from the direct eye of the management, we've seen, as I told you, people interacting on in social media, which is supposed to be their work time. So be honest to yourself, to your work, to your employer. When you're going in for the interview, you please tell them that I would like to, contribute to the, productivity, enhanced productivity of the company in this manner. And if the management is really broad-minded and thinks that this would help their business, they should go ahead. Do not put, the eggs in wrong baskets. Not all are doing. Some are used to, say, the 9 to 5 job, maybe not from the office, from home. They're happy with that. But if I can do other kind of work, I will do it, but I will not do it if it is hindering the time that I have promised to give to my organization. And also, it's a wonderful thing to see the young generation being so gifted, and they're wanting to contribute in so many ways to different organizations with their inherent talent. That is wonderful, and it should be encouraged. But there is something called work ethics. The pandemic has not changed that. Well, physically, you're under supervision, so you're working, and when you're not, maybe the manager is handling another team, then you're switching off to another company. Please don't do that. Trust, once broken in any aspect, in personal, in professional, fields, and I know, it cannot be regained. And once you get a bad name, Chandrakant, you have been a professional, it is very hard to gain that back in the market. But I definitely think that there are many avenues, because of everything being digitized, there are many avenues which have opened up, and I praise the new generation to be so talented in this respect.
Well, I have one question, last question in terms of work ethics. In fact, that is a very, very pertinent subject that you raised. Um, in the digital environment, how you as a leader, industry leader, are willing to help youngsters and even the organization. If you can just tell your plan briefly, that will help our viewers.
Uh, yes, help in this. I always, as I said, campus to corporate trainings are, it's a very topic which is dear to me, because it brings the two segments together, and I am the moderator. So I talk to the young minds. I get to know them real, their goals, their desires, what would be the environment that they're looking for to perform to the best of their ability and contribute wholesomely to the company. And I talk to the leaders and, try to bridge and say that if you have these employees, these candidates as your employees, I can assure you your business will increase fourfold. So this mindset, this understanding of the two different kinds of mindsets, I do it. And I try to, bridge the gap so that there is no misunderstanding. Maybe the employer will think, so this is a person who will not listen to the kind of, processes we are doing. And I'm not going to hire. Then I make them understand, no, he's someone who's creative. Now, because of this pandemic, creativity, resilience, we've talked about these. These have come to the fore. So if someone wants to contribute, give his idea, in a creative manner, innovative manner, which will help your organization. If you see during the interview process, please welcome him. He's not wanting to, go against what he will do in your processes, but he can contribute in a way which maybe you haven't heard. And maybe tomorrow your competitor will come and utilize him for their benefit. So this understanding, psychological, understanding of both the, we can say in a way, both the generations. This is what my aim is. So that there is no conflict, so that no real raw talent is, not given his or her due. At the same time, I tell these young people, it's very good. You may even think of yourself at home. You want something to be done, you have a new idea, your parents have been running the house in a way, and you've been doing that, but you're not going against that. You are contributing, you are digitally more, technically maybe more savvy. You have new, fresh ideas, more creative ideas. So you will obviously sit and tell your parents, I think this will help our family, whether it's budgeting, whether it's online shopping, whether any aspect of household running. Same way, and the parents should, accept that. Same way. Put your ideas across in such a way that shows that you are absolutely following the ethics that the company believes, that this is the way the work has to be done. But yes, leaders, please talk to each and every team member. I have interacted with many who have left their jobs. Ma'am, I was not valued in my team, in my company. This valuation, this earlier physically, maybe, a lot of more meetings could be held. So, here, you also know that a meeting more than maybe 10, 15 minutes virtually, it brings in a lot of fatigue. Screen time becomes too much, which didn't happen physically. So each and every meeting, virtual meeting, is very, very important. And I talk to the leaders and the managers, do listen to each and every team member. Someone who is not technically good at the processes which you have asked them to do, but he is having a very creative, innovative idea related to that. Give him or her that due. So it has to be, sorry, that's why I said more, let it be digitized, let artificial intelligence come and make the processes easier to handle. But communication has to be real time. Pick up the phone on the, now the cases are coming down. Again, I talk to the leaders, get them twice. You give them all the assurance. If they're not willing to come to the office, take them out into the open air. Have face-to-face interactions. That is 2 days, 3 days. Make them work the rest. That's why I'm still saying hybrid is the best way forward to beat this, pandemic and get the best results at the workplaces.
Excellent, Aditi ji, for giving us this words of wisdom and a lot of advices in today's program. I'm sure viewers who are watching may like to leverage you, take your help. Either they are corporates or even the job seekers. They can all approach you. The email will be given at the end of the program. You can send us an email and we will make the connection happen. Or you can directly reach Aditi Palit directly by searching on the net, on LinkedIn, etc. So Aditi ji, thank you so much for joining us today, and I will catch you in the next one.
Thank you so much again, Chandrakant. I'll be waiting for the next one, and it has been a wonderful session once again. Thank you.